Now remember that Salah begins with takbiratul ihram, yani with saying Allahu Akbar. And it is called takbiratul ihram because everything that was permissible before saying it becomes impermissible after saying it. So for example, a person is allowed to eat and drink and talk to people, look here and there, go in and out, walk around, etc. These are all permissible acts. But once you say Allahu Akbar and you begin Salah, then you cannot eat, you cannot drink, you cannot talk to people, you cannot even look here and there, you cannot, go out of the room and come back. No, all of those things become forbidden. So this is takbiratul ihram. And saying Allahu Akbar, takbiratul ihram, this is a pillar of Salah without which there is no Salah. And without it, Salah does not begin. And if you don't say Allahu Akbar properly, correctly, your Salah does not begin. To enter Salah, you have to say Allahu Akbar. And you say Allahu Akbar many times in Salah. And we see that takbir is connected to Salah in every way. And before Salah there is adhan. And in adhan there is takbir. Allahu Akbar, right? And then after adhan there is iqama. In iqama also there is takbir. When you begin Salah, you begin with Allahu Akbar. And then every time you move from one step of Salah to the next, again you say Allahu Akbar in every transition, except for when you're getting up from ruku'. So takbir, remember, is a symbol of Salah, the shi'ar of Salah, just as talbiyah is shi'ar of Hajj. When people go for Hajj, what is it that they say constantly? Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, right? And in Salah, what is it that we say constantly? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So the secret of Salah is what? It is ta'zeem of Allah, yani it is to glorify and praise Allah, to magnify Him, to express His greatness. Ibn Hajar said that takbir is a dhikr which is said at a time of shock, at a time of surprise and fear. So for example, in the seerah, we see that at many occasions, when some frightening news was given to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Allahu Akbar. So you say Allahu Akbar at a time of shock. And also, you say Allahu Akbar at the time of happiness, like for example on the day of Eid, in order to show gratitude to Allah. And you say Allahu Akbar at a time of fear. Why? Because you remind yourself that Allah is greater. Greater than what? Than this problem that has come my way. That Allah is capable of helping me. So takbir is a dhikr. And it is not only glorification of Allah, it is also a form of showing gratitude to Allah. And Allahu Akbar means Allah is the greatest. So the person praying Salah says it in Salah in order to declare that Allah is greater than anything else that I could be doing right now. Allah is greater than the essay that I was just typing. That is why I left it and I came and I started praying. Allah is greater than the food that I was cooking, right? And that is why I left it and I came to Salah. And in Salah, when anything distracts you, the food or the essay or what people are saying, then you say Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than anything that could distract me or that could hinder me from Salah. And when a person continues to say Allahu Akbar in Salah, then this saves a person from two major disasters. And what are these major disasters? First of all, takabbur, pride, arrogance. Because we think, I am great, I am able to do this, I can do this, I can do that. Allahu Akbar reminds you, Allah is greater than you. Allah is greater than me. So it saves you from arrogance. And secondly, saying Allahu Akbar also protects you from turning towards someone other than Allah. Because when you keep declaring Allah is greater, then Allah is greater than anything that I love. Allah is greater than anyone whom I love. Allah is greater than anyone whom I fear. Anything that I am concerned about, Allah is greater. He is more worthy of my attention. He is more worthy that I talk to Him, that I glorify Him, that I converse with Him. So Allahu Akbar is a protection. Al-Izz ibn Abd salam says about the wisdom of takbir in Salah, because you have to say takbir again and again in Salah. He says that the purpose of Salah is to remember Allah. And in order to do that, it is necessary to know the greatness of the one you are remembering. And if you're supposed to remember Allah in Salah, well, who is Allah? You have to know His greatness. You have to keep that greatness in mind in order to show proper adab throughout the Salah. Because sadly, when people are praying, sometimes they are looking here and there. They are, not moving their lips. They're not saying anything. Or they have the audacity to stand in prayer without wudu. And that is because they don't recognize the greatness of the one whom they are remembering. Salah begins with takbir, which proves the greatness of Allah, so that a person knows the one he is standing before, and the one that he is sitting before in tashahhud and making ruku' and sajda for. So when you remember the majesty of Allah, the greatness of Allah, by saying Allahu Akbar in Salah, then you're able to show obedience and proper humility. Then you will observe proper adab, and you will ensure that you have purification, both external and internal. And only then you can focus on your conversation with Allah. So when you say Allahu Akbar, it means that you're leaving everything behind. Because when you say Allahu Akbar, you also raise your hands. Right? You also raise your hands. And when you raise your hands, what are you doing? You're basically throwing behind yourself everything else, everyone else. You are focusing entirely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, and you say it while you mean it, then you will have humility and proper etiquette, proper adab in Salah. And the person who stands properly before Allah in Salah, they will be able to stand properly on the Day of Judgment also.